fucking did it! Oh, I fucking did it, hell yeah.
This isn't good. This isn't good. Well, I guess this is how my story ends. Good night. No, I fell! That's a fall! Well, it's all on you.
In fact, you can take this as actual accounting advice if you want to. Don't pay taxes. Become a criminal.
Why would I do this? Shoot! Oh no 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 no! Oh my god! Oh my god! Where's my boat? Oh no no no! Oh, why am I dropping them? Oh god! Why'd I do that? Get away from me! Stop! Oh, that's too big! Oh no! Oh, why? I don't like it! There's two of them! What is this? Oh god! I didn't know there were different kinds!
Twitch CEO only goes to real women. What are you petting, Zax? What exactly are you petting right now? And now you're fine. Thank you for telling you. You? Zax pet something different. Zax was...
Fuck off! You horrible bastard! Fuck you, you fucking... Fuck off, piece of shit! It's my boat. It's my boat. It's my boat. You can't destroy it. I need... Oh, shit house. No! Not Seamoth! No. No, you don't fucking dare, you horrible, ugly cunt. Bigger stickers! Bigger stickers! Bigger stickers! Get out of there! Bigger stickers! Fucking run! Fuck! Ah! Fish isn't on because it was lagging. I'm sorry. Let me get out of here! Fucking run! Get out of here, you fuck! Jesus fucking wept. Holy fucking shit house, Fran. That fucking...
Hello. Yes, it is indeed the hot take streams. Take it hot while you can. Get it while it's hot. It is the hot take stream. I never saw that Dexter clip. I didn't even pay attention to it. I'm so sorry I missed it. But hello. It is the hot take stream. I am insanely nervous. So, be kind, I guess. I'm not prepared. I wasn't like actually prepared for this. Porra! Hello, Porra. I hope you're done with work. If you're not done with work, you're okay. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate you. Hottest V-Day gift ever. Skier hot takes? Yeah, I planned this before I realized what day it was, and then I was like, fuck it. I got plenty of prompts for hot takes. SD, be nice. Be kind to me, por favor. Por favor. Okay, so just as a preemptive So, like, my hot takes are not generally that hot. They're really not. I think my opinions are fine. I have, however, upset people with them. Just, in case you freeze up. I do have a list, but they're all very vague topics. But yeah, y'all are totally welcome to throw stuff at me. Lies! What, I upset people, or that I have a list? But, yeah. So mostly we're just gonna be playing a super chill game that doesn't require very much thought, and I've never played before, so... and I don't know if I should do it more like asking, you guys ask questions, but I don't know how engaged people are gonna be with this today. I gotta sleep. No, Mole, go to sleep, I promise. This'll be here tomorrow. You can watch the VOD, get embarrassed on my behalf. The not so hot takes, yes. Vanilla ice cream is better than chocolate ice cream. I'm so sorry, y'all. That's my opinion, and it stands. Your streams are always too good to not miss. Aw, Mole, you're so insanely sweet. You know that? I do miss having you around, like, as often as you used to be. Back when I had, like, earlier streams. Agreed. It's more useful. I mean, right? You can use it in more things. Also, just by itself, it's better. Chocolate ice cream doesn't taste anything like chocolate. I'm sorry. If you like chocolate ice cream, you're totally allowed to, but it's not chocolate. Love that that's the one we're starting off on. Alright, let me get this game started. A big streak! Oh, dude, that is a big streak. It is a big streak. I thought it was a different number for a second. I just misread it. Holy shit. 50 streams is absolutely bonkers. Thank you so much for hanging around so much, Foka. I adore you. I adore you. If it's less expensive ice cream, I take vanilla over chocolate any day, but good chocolate ice cream is the shit. I'll take a good chocolate ice cream, but I think I'd still, like, an expensive vanilla ice cream, like, that's on par quality-wise with a good chocolate I'd still take the vanilla between the two. I have no volume, but hi! Hi, Soul, give me a second, let me type, I'm a slow typer. Hey, Pouncer! Oh my goodness, long time no see! What's up with you? We're doing a hot take stream, so brace yourself. Been taking care of the dog this week, so I've been up at like 5:30 a.m. and been to bed at 9. That is not enough hours of sleep. Go to sleep. Alright. Also, hi everyone. Nada just chillin', chillaxin', relaxin', all cool, shooting some b-ball outside of the school and all that. I'm just doing a hot take stream. That's all I can think about right now. I'm gonna go suffer the ranked grind. Wish me luck. Look. Alright, so I don't know what we're doing. This book belongs to the obscurest. Obscurt. I hate the way that sounded. It's fine. I want to get the game, like, started, because I think it... Okay, it started. I thought it had, like, a little bit of story at first. What are we starting with? So what I... Okay, so what I... Okay, so what I was looking at... Because, like, I don't know what you guys want to hear. I genuinely don't, because my list is the stuff that I consider hot takes, the stuff that I genuinely think about a lot. Skirt, yeah. Skirt. You streaming on Monday? I should have my sleep schedule ruined by then? Oh, good. Yeah, I should be here on Wednesday. Is water wet? Water is actually not wet. I have it on good authority that water never actually touches your skin because there's a barrier of atoms in between the water and your skin. The wetness that you feel is typically the reaction that your body has, or the things that, you know what, it's fine. All cops are bastards, that's not a hot take. They're illegitimate children of the broken system, regardless of individual morality, and go. That's, I mean... I want to get offended. Aw, Foka. Thank you, that is correct. Hot take time. Hey, Minnie! Oh, you're ready for this one, aren't you? No, ACAB, dude, for real. I have difficulty with police, and yeah, actually, you said it probably better than I could. That's one of the reasons I'm nervous, is because I just worked all day and I'm tired, and I don't think I'm going to be able to articulate a lot of my opinions as well as I should be. Offend me, so I get so appalled that I have to go to bed. I'm going to offend you so hard that you have to unfollow and never come back so that you'll actually sleep. But yeah, no, the thing about police, most of the system that was built originally originated from back in during the slave trade. A lot of the police forces were originally just the what machine? We'll grind all our bones to dust. Gondola, should I allow that? Because I don't know what that means. Can't speak for anybody else, but I will try to disagree gently. No. Like, I'm totally down. I don't know what that means, Gondola. I'm not gonna allow it because I don't know what it means. Can you tell me what it means? Hi, Aster! The Z sounds very— oh, okay, yeah, we can allow that. There we go. Occupied government, yes. So, we were— yeah, I feel like this is gonna get a little off rails, like, immediately. So the police forces were originally built off of the backs of the slave trade, effectively, because the origin of it was to collect or to find people who had escaped slavery and bring them back to where they, I don't know, say they belonged. And so a lot of the mentalities that go into the police force are just remnants of an age gone by that we will hopefully never see again, but that we really need to root out and actually get rid of. Magnus! Hi! Hi, Magnus, how are you? Foka, can you time me out for like an hour so I need to sleep? I will absolutely time you out, Mo. Do you actually want this? I know sleeping, like, forcing yourself to sleep can be very difficult, but also losing the option of speaking can be stressful as well. Yeah, local police. Thank you. I love you, Mole. Or love you, well, I love you, Mole, too, but I love you, Foka. Local police forces have a really hard time humanizing the people they police. That's exactly it. And it's not even just local police. Like, any police force, they very much become a boys' club. So they have, not only do they have these, like, weird internal dialogues that you know, justify their own actions and vilify everybody else, at the same time, they have each other's backs. At the same time, like, they get to the point where even people who don't have those belief systems and that will actually, you know, report things that are done that are incorrect, they'll beat those people down to the point where they don't want to be police anymore, or they leave the force, or even if they stay in the force, they're less likely to actually say when things are being done immorally. They just have like a frickin' stranglehold on the system. Hola Putin, I love you. Welcome to it. Whisper me if you want to talk, Lamau. Also, good night. Oh my god, using bullshit made up laws to accuse people you want to go elsewhere of crimes they didn't commit so you can deport them to their homes. Where have I heard that before? Fucking, no, like, legit. I'm glad you're here, ST. Cause I think you say things better than I do. Well, I would like to say that I am normally fairly good at being, you know, articulate. I'm just, you know, end of day tired. This is just where I live now. But, yeah, so police force, ACAB, defund the police, and that's the thing that frustrates me. A lot of people will hear the phrase defund the police, and that's the thing, is that we on the left-er side of things, and by the way, I kind of consider myself a bit of an extremist on the left side, or at least I would be considered an extremist if you talk to anybody on the right side. A lot of my opinions, sorry, I'm like, trying to organize. I don't remember what I was saying. What was I saying? I know internal investigation and some of these agencies get bullied out all the time. Oh, for real. Like, yeah, bro, don't call us out for being racist and horrible. No, legitimately, even the internal, like the self-regulation of it is absolutely falling apart. It just doesn't exist anymore. There is no self-regulation. And you can't expect any agency to self-regulate. It just doesn't work that way. You can't expect any large group of people to self-regulate. I'm sorry, you need external checks and balances, just like we did with the government and then fucking failed to maintain. Like, see, having takes is good if you're a loving bean. Calling out our intolerance is the real intolerance. Oh yeah, for sure. Mole says, good night, everyone. Good night, Mole. Warms my heart coming into a stream and hearing this rhetoric. It's legitimately something that makes me feel more sane. Dude, right? I mean, I live in a fairly... we used to be much lefter than we are now, but a fairly progressive area. And one of the things that I enjoy about this area, because I lived in a very, very right-wing area, like to the point where they had like Trump rallies in the like main street of the town. Going from that back to this is like, it was so relieving. It was like, oh god, I'm not actually just insane. This is nice. I'm normal again. So like, admittedly, like, I'm not going to hate anybody for the belief systems. I understand that we get indoctrinated. I'm indoctrinated in a lot of ways as well, in a lot of things. So like, I get it, but I also feel like we need to question our own beliefs, and we need to question how we represent them and how we defend them. That's something that we don't do often enough, honestly. Sorry, I'm multitasking, which is also something I'm not good at, so if I start rambling about something that doesn't even make sense, let me know. Just a heads up, I adore you. But I'll probably be in and out, might mute stream, because a decent amount of because politics can hit a little close to home sometimes. 1000%, that's totally fine, Poro. I love you very much, and I also understand anyone else that has issues with these topics. That's why I put it all in big, bold letters. I even did I actually do the thing? I thought about putting it, and I don't know if I did. I was gonna add content classifications. I do. All right, so I have politics and sensitive social issues and a bunch in like sexual themes, because I was gonna get onto like gender identity and stuff like that as well. I have all of those like set. But again, if anybody is uncomfortable with this stuff, I would prefer you stay comfortable and take care of your own mental health than be here. Because while I adore all of you and I love hearing your guys' opinions as well, this shit sucks sometimes. It is absolutely painful sometimes, so... Remember, it isn't radical to say in an ideal world we don't have prisons. I hate that is radical. That's like in our current world, in our current day, it's considered radical, and that is insane to me. Because, like, when I talk about, like something else that I'm probably going to touch on a lot is that I consider myself a socialist, at the very, very least a democratic socialist. So, like, all the love obscure wouldn't want to be elsewhere right now. Oh my goodness, 45 fucking stream streak? That is insanity. Oh, the prison's quotes from Angela Davis. I actually don't know who that is, but I'm terrible with names, so, but thank you for the quote, because I like that a lot, genuinely. But yeah, muchos loves. I'm gonna be listening while I'm working on dinner stuff for me and Little Bear. I know your family, Rag, so just don't put me on speaker. Because a lot of this stuff might get uncomfortable for them. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm gonna go listen to live music. Do it, Gondola, we love you. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you for stopping by, I genuinely appreciate you. In an ideal world, we would not have criminals. Yeah, in an ideal world, criminals would be rehabilitated. So the thing about rehabilitation and the thing about having crime, per se, is that most crime can be whittled down to not addressing mental health issues when people are young, not being able to, not keeping people fed and healthy, and all of the things that we should be doing as a social society, as social creatures. We should be taking care of the weakest among us, and almost all crime can be attributed to that. So yeah, technically, in an ideal world, there shouldn't be any criminals either, but that's because our definition of crime would change drastically as well. Because if somebody did something extreme, like killing someone or stealing something, that would be weird. It would be weird that they would feel the need to do that. They would have a mental health issue that isn't being addressed, and we would then address it. So that wouldn't be a crime. It would just be a cry for help, and clearly they weren't being helped appropriately. One of the OG Black Panther social activist philosophers. Oh, thank you. Okay, I will definitely be looking them up. Do be honest, I'm too young to care about politics, but the situation is bad. For real. Like, I've noticed that with a lot of younger people, is that I'll talk to them, and like, don't get me wrong, it was the exact same way when I was a kid. Like, I could talk about the general things that I didn't like, but I didn't really understand the politics behind it, a lot of it, and I still really don't, to an extent. because so very much of the politics is just large groups of people that are more interested in their own welfare and taking care of themselves in their own group, like billionaires taking care of billionaires and you know, things like that, that the people, the masses aren't exactly being taken care of. So it's not really politics, it's mostly just greedy people be greedy. Skewer has it on the nose. It's a reframing of what criminality is and understanding what actually fixes criminals. That's something that is very difficult to talk to people on the far right about, just because like reframing isn't something that, in my experience, reframing isn't something that people on the far side have like a grasp on. Like being able to understand that yes, certain things will exist, like mental health issues that cause people to commit what is considered a crime. Those things aren't going to go away. Like, people are still going to have mental health issues. People are still going to, like, we can't necessarily feed everyone in the world. I mean, we can if we had a global government that actually, like, we'd have to talk about a lot if we were going to talk about that. But, like, if we wanted to continue with the borders that we have and maintaining things the way that we do, there are still going to be people in the world that starve to death. And it sucks that those are realities of the world. So, like, it is difficult to talk about the nuance with people when nuance isn't something that they're really willing or able to grasp. And I'm not saying that anybody on the right is stupid. Well, some of them are, but some people on the left are stupid, don't get me wrong. And I hate using left and right because I've met people that were, you know, kind of both. So like but that's just a shorthand for stuff like that. Nice thought about issues not being addressed, but if you start thinking about how you get in a situation of privacy and how it'll be affected and even what is privacy, that's something else that I actually will probably get into on this one, is that I have, and this is probably one of my hottest takes, I feel like a lot of privacy is, the idea of privacy is based around the fact that we have untrustworthy people in power. If we had people that we trusted in power, the privacy thing wouldn't really be an actual issue. Like, if I knew that if I knew that my government wasn't using my data to do anything immoral or, you know, sell my data or track me or do things that I don't want them to do, if I genuinely trusted my government, them having my mental health data wouldn't bother me. But right now, no, like, I don't want the military. I don't want the government to know my sexual preferences. Like, I literally told my doctor to take that off of my paperwork because that is none of their business. Poverty is the root cause of many issues, yeah. Violence, inequality, mental and physical health, blah, 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 yes. And all of it is completely unaddressed. And I remember that anime that deals with preemptive measures of crime. Yes, preemptive measures of crime. Like, that's the thing, though, is that a lot of the rhetoric that kind of starts becoming taking care of things before they become a problem, that mentality has been sort of beat to the extreme. Like, if you look at some, like, freaking The Bourne Identity. Sorry, the music stopped and there it goes. The Bourne Identity, like that, or was the Bourne Identity? No, it was the other one. The Minority Report. I don't know why I always get those mixed up. Psychopaths. Fucking love Psychopaths. Such a good goddamn show. But a lot of the stuff, it's a lot like how back in the day we used to have a lot of movies where the bad guys were the Russians. Like, we do that. We vilify groups of people and we vilify ideas. And the thing is that the ideas are not the problem. It's the extremeness of them that's the problem. Like, I'm probably going to end up talking about AI today. A lot of people are afraid of AI because of the stories that we've told about them, and they believe that there's a chance that AI is going to rise up and become self-aware and do all of these things that they're scared of and that they don't want to happen. But the statistical probability of that being what happens is pretty much null. Like, it's pretty much nothing. So I just get so frustrated when people are like, yeah, but what about when this happens? I'm like, you heard about that in a movie or you read about it in a book. Like, that's probably not what would happen. And not everything has to be an extreme measure. We can absolutely temper things and base it off of what actually, like, the actual outcome of our actions. Sorry. It got quiet in chat and now I'm, like, worried. I don't know why I do this to myself. I don't know. Somebody asked me a question. Also, Psychopaths is a fantastic show. Let's try. I'm quiet because I'm just listening. I'm not making any sense. I'm like rambling now because I'm nervous. I don't know if you guys can hear my voice actually shaking. I'm like actually I'm more worried about the ethical and environmental impact of AI than an uprising. I understand like the difficulty with AI and why a lot of people are hesitant with it, but I also come from a mentality of like socialism and having like all I'm very pro normalizing how AI actually operates. Thank you very much. Like, it's technology. It is an advancement in technology. All advancements have been terrifying to people. Like, people used to say that TV was gonna destroy the world and that the internet was the end times and all of that. So AI is just an advancement in technology like everything else. I think that the... I'm trying to think of a term and my brain is still not functioning. I'm sorry. Means of production. Jesus fucking Christ. I think that if means of production actually went to the people, a lot of the issues that we would have with AI, like how it's using our data and stuff like that, would become a non-issue, because AI using the masses of art out there, like let's just use art as an example. I consider myself an artist, so if my art was being fed into an AI that was then being used to benefit me as an artist, I would be totally okay with that. And I feel like a lot of people would be. It's the problem is that money and that like my own intellectual property is being fed into the AI and then benefiting a large corporation that I have nothing to do with, and that doesn't benefit me in any way. Turning down the best and turning down the expectations. I don't know what turning down the best means. I'm so sorry. Extreme measures should be kept for measures should be kept for extreme situations, but reality is that when we live in a reality that have extreme situations, great examples of extreme situations is commie gulags. Alright, so the difficulty with talking about communism is that, let's talk about socialism just for a second. So with socialism, it has a lot of ideals that are effectively, like they say religion is the opiate of the masses. No, fucking socialism is the opiate of the masses. People crave that shit like crack. Anytime if somebody actually reads the Communist Manifesto, if anybody actually thinks about the ideologies behind socialism, most of the people that I've talked to and people online that were part of studies and things like that, people tend to lean towards socialism in their personal beliefs. The problem is that once a government or a corporation or a large group of people that want power realize that the way to get power is to promise people effectively socialism, people will follow you to the ends of the earth to be able to get means of production, to be able to not have to work 40 hours, 80 hours a week, not have to be ground into the dust by the fucking oligarchy. People love that idea, and so they will absolutely follow people who are saying that that's what they're going to give them, and that's how we get dictatorships that call themselves communism or call themselves socialist that aren't. They're just using the ideology to get to the people to follow them, and that's genuinely where most of the, like, that's why when people talk about commies and shit like that, I'm like, those people are not actually communists. They didn't actually follow the doctrine. I stopped reading. It's okay, Suker. You're our friend. Take your time and breathe. When you need a minute. I don't know. Yeah, I might take a break like sooner than usual. I'm not used to talking like this in front of people. Like, I can talk to individuals like this, no problem. It's just like, it's just weird. Caleb told me recently that if it just took a few minutes for chatbots to come up with a response rather than instantly, it would reduce the water usage by a lot. Wait, what? Wait, what? I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, thank you for the hydration. I actually didn't even think to get water. I have a little bit right here, but I need to get water soon. I'm here to listen to you. I'm cooking, but I can say I'm deeply invested in hearing what you have to say. Thank you, Rag. You're so sweet. I also appreciate the idea of trying to move away from left and right mentality. Many, including myself, have beliefs and ideas that fall on both sides of the coin. Exactly. And really the main thing that I like, and this is probably the centerist part of me, is the idea that we are all of one people, and if we start doing things to do what's best for everyone instead of just my side or just your side, I think things would be a lot better. But I feel like that's a mentality of a lot of people. Even if we do have different opinions, we should have that's where you start getting into federalists and nationalists and a bunch of other fun stuff. So like maybe not, but that might be too much nuance for right this instant. It's hard to talk about communism without accidentally referring to authoritarianism. Yeah, no, exactly. Because like that's the thing, is that it's not, communism is not authoritarianism. Communism and socialism are keys and tools that authoritarians and dictators have used historically to gain the trust of the people. Because as I said, it is absolutely something that people like. Tibbles! Hi Tibbles, how are you? Social programs are awesome. I love libraries and fire departments and clean water. Right? Like, look at the fire department. Here's a great example. Puppet! Hi, Puppet. Thank you. Keeping me alive. But no, fire departments are a fantastic example. There are places in the world, I don't think the US ever did it, but like I know the UK did it, where you had to pay a certain amount to the fire department to be part of their district, and if you didn't pay it, they wouldn't usually let your house burn down. That is a myth, but they would charge you for the privilege of having your house not burn down. Like, yes, having that as becoming a social program, making that into a social program that just takes care of everybody is beneficial for everybody in that group, like in everybody in that area. I've always thought that if people didn't want something that was good and benefit everyone but me, that person might do it themselves, but so badly that people not only want to avoid it, they fear it. I got confused mid-sentence. You might need to retype that, because I am also confused. Strongly disagree. Both extremes ends of socialism and capitalism cannot be archived in any way, because it is enough to have one person who wants to use it for power, to use both sides to gain power, and power is gained. First thing is done to remove any equality. That, while that is fair, there are ways to set up a system with checks and balances to avoid people with that level of greed. Also, that again leads into something that I personally am always just a little hesitant to talk about. So talking about it on the internet makes me kind of feel like I'm gonna get lynched. I think that a lot of the personal freedoms that we have in modern society are excessive. I think that we overdo it with our personal freedoms, and I know, like, I'm not going for governor or anything. Like, you don't need to lynch me. It's fine. I just have an opinion. But, like, I think that we don't need freedom of speech, because there are things that if you say them, they cause bad things to happen. And we've seen that again and again and again. And I think that some things should be banned. I think some things should not be allowed. But obviously, and I'm not going to use the term slippery slope, because slippery slopes are also a fallacy. Admittedly, there are times when somebody with a negative, like with an opinion that necessarily shouldn't be propagated, gets in charge, and they are the ones that decide what gets banned, like the government we have right now in the US. A lot of the stuff that they're banning or refusing to do or allowing in schools or not allowing in schools, a lot of that stuff is bad for the people at large. So I understand that if you have the wrong government in place, a lot of the ideas that I have are probably not going to be good. Not me, I wouldn't do it. Okay. Hi, Seb! Hi, Puppet! Porro! Can't stay but have a good stream, and may the takes be spicy. No worries, Puppet. Thank you for hanging out for a second. I appreciate you. Have a good rest of your day, and enjoy Valentine's Day. Say hi to the spousal unit for us. No. Communism had to destroy large parts of educated population to exist in Soviet Union. Again, that's not communism. That was an oligarchy. So, like, I don't know why I said it was an oligarchy. It was a dictatorship. So, like, the thing about things like the Soviet Union. So anytime, that's one of the things that I noticed when we first got our current system, our current governmental system. God, I'm not braining so well. But when we got our current regime in the US, one of the first things that authoritarians and dictatorships do when they get into power is they reduce the educational system. They take it down to effectively nothing, so that, because the more uneducated your population is, the worse your social systems are going to be, and the less likely you are to lose power. So in those communist systems, that was not communism. Again, I hate that the word has been so tied to authoritarianism, but it is not. Those systems were authoritarian or were dictatorships, and so that's why they destroyed the educational system, not because they needed to because of communism. In fact, communism or socialism would promote education. It would make sure that people were educated enough to understand what the system was and why they did it that way. That was the first thing they did, because there's a thing, then you don't have capital, you don't have value, and without value, even a person has no value. Again, that if we allow individuals to be the value, like that's the thing, is that means of production to the people means that the individuals are the valuable thing. All things that are produced and all things that are manufactured and all work that is put in and everything benefits the individual. I feel like there's a lot, and I haven't read everything, so I'm gonna finish with your slob. I'm so sorry, I'm not ignoring you. There are two other things I wanted to read real quick. The water thing I was referring to was in regards to reducing the environmental impact of AI. It would use considerably less water to allow the computers to take a bit more time. Oh, I didn't know that. The problem with the water is it's used for cooling, and the insane amounts of heat generated would be massively reduced, with less need for simulating simultaneous processing of so much shit. Yeah, So the thing about AI is that I feel like it is tied to socialism in such a way that if we allow it to advance in a natural way, like companies that don't have control over it and governments don't have control over it, it is genuinely just in the hands of the people. I think it would be fine to give it that sort of processing power, because a lot of the other things that we would reduce, like vehicle usage and things like that, like there are a lot of other things that we'd be reducing that would be beneficial to the environment and beneficial to the world. So I don't know if that would be my biggest concern, because as I've said, I'm hugely pro AI, and I feel like a lot of it can be beneficial to the individuals. I'm sorry, I'm not talking so well today. I might have to take a break soon. Still shaking a little bit. I've always thought that if someone didn't like something that would benefit everyone but affect their wealth and power over the rest, they would do that thing so badly that people not only want to avoid it, they fear it. Yes, thank you for repeating that. I appreciate that. But yeah, that's pretty much the thing, is that you're hot take here, but I think Obscure is talking fine. Thank you, Tango. You're very sweet. I feel dumb, because like normally I'm okay at talking about stuff like this when I do talk about it, but I don't know, end of day brain is making me nervous. How about this? I'm gonna take a break, and you guys think of any questions that you want to talk about, because I think we've glanced across a lot of them already. I haven't even finished this room yet. But I will BRB. Don't feel dumb, it's perfectly fine to be nervous. It's a lot, and it's going on the internet, and literally anybody could be listening right now. Alright, it's on done it, but I'm at all the opposite even. You're very sweet, Poutine. I don't know. And also, this stuff shouldn't necessarily be broadcast on the internet, because like I'm probably one of the least paranoid people you will meet. Like, I consider myself an anti-conspiracy theorist. I like, most conspiracies are bullshit based on nothing, on conjecture, and that's it. And so I'm listening. Thank you, Sibley. So like, I don't generally get nervous about stuff like this, but the internet is one of those places where literally anybody could be listening, and people have weird ideas and opinions about what should and should not be allowed. And yeah, so I'm also nervous about just like releasing this brain gunk onto the internet. But yeah, I am gonna take a break, and I will be right back. Okay. Alright, we are back. Alright. There's a topic. Here's a topic to discuss for hot takes. I was watching Subway Takes, where this comedian Kareem asks comedians for their hot takes. And someone said, Batman is a dickhead. The rich asshole wants to be a cop. He goes around beating up drug dealers and minor offenders when he could literally just invest the Batmobile worth of money into actually fixing systemic problems in Gotham. A rich white guy cosplaying as a policeman, disgraceful. Dude, like, for real. Like 100,000%. That's why I get so frustrated with billionaires. Like, that's another thing that I genuinely think, like, even if we don't go full socialist in the US. Sorry, can you guys hear me? I didn't actually check to, like, make sure everybody could hear me and whatnot. But that's like, even if we don't go full socialist in the US, which I understand would take generations, honestly, I don't think it would just be an overhaul that we can do today. We can. Thank you guys, I love you both. Even if we didn't go full socialist, we very much need to tamp down the number of billionaires that we have in the US. Like, we have it's one of the richest countries in the world, and at the same time we have some of the poorest people in the world. Like, how is this possible? Like, the disparity between living wages and the amount that a billionaire makes every single day is just absolutely insane. Like, one of my favorite examples that I like to cite, just because I worked for UPS at the time, this was in 2023, I think, is when they had their contract come up. So UPS is a union, is part of a union. So UPS itself isn't it, but their drivers are part of the drivers union, which is the Teamsters union. Sorry, give me a second. My hot take is that the Roblox should not be taking that much blame. They made big mistakes, but they need some punishment, but they didn't pay for the peds to try and get them on the platform. Roblox has done other things that is beyond the pale, and also beyond just that. Like, they set up gambling systems for underage people, like for children. Like, Roblox is absolutely at fault here, and they have not corrected most of their mistakes. So yeah, they made big mistakes. They are still making big mistakes. Anyway, and yeah, full agree, billionaires just shouldn't exist. Fucking right. I think that anything, honestly, like, if we can be fucking generous and let them have $1 billion a year. That's insane. Like, absolutely, have $1 billion a year, but anything over $1 billion should be taxed at 100%. All money needs to go back into the system, because that's where all of our money is. That's why we are fucking drowning in debt down here just trying to survive, because minimum wage has not been keeping up with cost of living by a fucking long shot. Even people who are making a significant amount, like a pretty penny, are still making less than livable wages. Like, it's insane to me, because all of that money is sitting in people's bank accounts. It's not stimulating the economy. It's not making people, it's not improving the world in any way. It's just making a few thousand people more rich, richer and richer every single day. It's fucking disgusting. Although, if I was being honest, fuck you, tax 99% over 9 mil, for real, until we have zero poverty. Legit. Like, actually, if you do the math, if we taxed, this is literally only if we taxed, I'm trying to remember the actual numbers, because I sat down and did a lot of back of the envelope math one time, because I was just fucking mad one day, and I was like, I'm just gonna math it. I think it was like 25% of unrecognized or unrealized gains. So, like, if we just took 25% of all unrealized gains every year, we'd be able to pay off the national deficit within like a couple of years. I'm trying to remember how long it was. But unrealized gains are one of the biggest fucking problems we have in the US, and we aren't taxing them. And then on top of that, we aren't taxing people that are making literally billions of dollars. Like, this is not so you can survive. You are not earning that money. You did not work for that money. You are making billions of times more than an individual who actually is paying, like, is actually working for their money. You do not deserve it. Sorry, give me a second. I gotta scroll up and I have to like tab over to do that. Full agree, billionaires just shouldn't exist. It honestly makes me incredibly angry. Dude, like, I actually get livid. That's one of the few things that actually upsets me. To see the discrepancy between our wealth and our impoverishment, like, the amount of food insecurity alone is fucking appalling. Thank you, Poro, 1000%. Give them their I won capitalism award and tax 99% over 999 million. Dude, right? And that's us being fucking generous. You don't need $1 billion to live. You're not like scraping by on your $1 billion. You are living so comfortably. Like, you in the next 10 generations, assuming you never make interest on that money, will live comfortable lives. The fact that you even are allowed to make that much is insane to me. Are they still wildly successful? Roblox? Yep. It's not like they've been, like, they haven't been canceled or whatever. Cancel culture is bullshit, by the way. I'll absolutely fight anybody on that one. Has anything really dented their success? Nah. I mean, Roblox is like a place to convince underage kids to develop software and gamble. Mostly the gamble, but yeah, software development. But software development that belongs to Roblox. You're never too young to hit a jackpot. Try a refreshing Camel cigarette. I have unrealized gains. Yeah, is it over $1 billion? Is it over, like, literally more than your fucking people that work for you will make in an entire lifetime? Even then, if they're taxed properly, the system is so corrupt, there's no way the money would go anywhere it should. The whole system needs to be upended 1,000%. Like, literally, if we just took our military and cut the income, like, not income, cut the amount that we're giving to the military every year in half, it would still be the biggest military, or, like, the highest paid military in the world. Like, by a long shot. We're still, like, if we cut it in half, and if we put that money towards education, social systems, all of these things, like, things would get better just by taking that money out of the military. Like, if we also started charging these billionaires more money and put it into the system and actually put it towards social systems, again, this is a matter of if we had a government that we could trust, which we don't. We have a government that the billionaires can trust. We cannot trust our government or the system right now. I must take on communism. No. Like, this is what it's for, Slob. You are absolutely welcome to share your opinion. You've been incredibly, like, if you were being, like, aggressive or something, then I would have a problem, but you're not. Like, we're actually talking, and I appreciate that very much. I must give my take on communism because I'm from a post-Soviet, post-communist state. One big thing here in Lithuania? LT? I don't know what LT is. I assume Lithuania. Was farming, and it was biggest industry before Soviets. One of the first things Soviets did to implement communism is to take over farms, any farms, and create community farms. And the farmers from those farms exiled to Siberia, without question. And second, if every time then communism is tried to be implemented because of high amount of people in life and authoritarians, then maybe we should be realistic and see that other communism of trying to achieve it is immoral. Again, I think we're just putting a word to authoritarianism that was not communism. So a lot of the stuff that they were doing, like taking over large farms and splitting them up and making communal farms, that was so that the government and people in power could take the proceeds from a lot of the stuff that they actually then started selling to other countries. They were taking that money and enriching themselves. It became an oligarchy over time, but originally it very much was just an authoritarian state. And that wasn't communism. Communism wouldn't be the money going to the government, it would be the money going to the people. So all of the people who lost their farms, air quotes, lost their farms in this other world, not in the one that you lived through or the one that your country lived through. Like, if all of that money actually went back to the people, then the lives of the people would have been enriched. They would have gained from that system. But that's not what happened. They didn't make it a communist system. They didn't make it a socialist system. They made it an authoritarian state where individuals at the top were the only ones that benefited and everybody at the bottom suffered. A lot like we have what's going on in the US right now. We have what's closer to an oligarchy right now. Than anything that happened. I don't know anything about your country. I'm so sorry. But in like Russia and in areas where they did have authoritarian states, then that's typically what happens. That's why I don't like that everybody's so afraid of communism, of socialism, because those ideas were used to convince people to put themselves into an authoritarian state. They just used the ideas to trick people. And so what actually happened was not communism. But that's my point of trying to achieve your idea led to people who takes over every time, then maybe it's a problem with the system. That is incredibly fair, but we would have to start it. So the thing is that it's mostly what has been happening with socialism is that, or when these authoritarian states end up using the ideas to make things an authoritarian state. Most of the time what's happening is that things are really bad. People are dying, starving to death, things are bad. And so people become desperate and they start looking for any way out. What we need to do is start from a good place. We need to start with a government that has our best interests at heart, which is something that we can do. We can vote people in, we can set up a system beforehand, we can have checks and balances before people are desperate. Because when people are desperate, they aren't going to make the best decisions. They're going to vote for people that don't necessarily have their best interests at heart because they promised them something. They're not going to be able to look at their history because a lot of times these people who are now in power don't have a political history. So, like, I agree with you in that we shouldn't just jump into anything. I disagree in that we should never look into communism ever, or into socialism. Also, I will make a point, other side of uncontrolled capitalism is just as bad. Oh, like, for sure. Like, I know you're not supporting capitalism, and you're not saying that, you know, we should throw out the idea of socialism. A lot of this stuff is probably going to end up just being a form of democratic socialism, which is something that I'm also okay with. I would love a fully social state, but, like, I don't think that's ever going to happen. I genuinely don't. But thank you for chatting with me, Slob. I'm so sorry if any of my opinions are triggering, because I understand that you do live in a country that has a history of that. So I want you to know that I just slapped myself on the chest. I don't know if you heard that. Just slapping myself on the chest. But I genuinely want you to know that I appreciate you, and nothing I say is ever intended to be negative towards any individual or group of people that didn't do the shit. Cancel culture literally just socially ostracizes people beyond what they deserve and doesn't even put a dent in the people and companies that actually deserve canceling. I've literally never seen somebody get canceled. I'm sorry, I disagree with you on this one thing, SD. I've literally never seen somebody get canceled. I've seen people, like, companies get boycotted. I've seen people walk out on shows. I've seen all of that shit. But nobody has ever just never come back from that. Like, even, like, unless it's a small indie company that had, like, a gay rights flag out front and people decided to boycott because they were in the wrong area or something. Like, even then, those individuals could move to another area. They're not actually canceled. Like, it's either sending death threats to celebrities that don't talk about their opinions or yells at companies on Twitter that literally could not care less. That's, yeah. But again, I don't even think this shit. The hot take stream is finally upon us. Hi, Cookie! Yes, it's here. It's here, and we're off to a roaring start. I've already taken one break. Yes. Yes. What's in the cardboard box? Thank you for reminding me that there's a video game on the screen that we should probably be playing. Thank you. This is not going to be very well organized. Do not judge my organizational skills based on this video game. I am distracted. Sorry, I talk with my hands a lot. I separate socialism from communism. For me, communism is the most extreme side of socialism, not whole social idea. Yeah. I fully understand why you would do that. I have been using them interchangeably, but you're absolutely right. They are different ideals. I do like the idea of communism, but again, it's just, again, if it's being implemented correctly. I can't scroll down when I'm on the screen. There's also a difference between ideal systems and programmatic systems. Upending current systems into an ideal may be somewhat impossible currently, but that doesn't mean it shouldn't be the ends we shoot for. Yeah, exactly. All of this is going to be incremental changes. We just need to be aware of what we're aiming for. If we're just making decisions moment by moment, just voting for one of two people that we hate the least, like, we're never going to actually make progress in whatever direction we want to make progress in. Instead, we're just constantly being reactionary, and that we need to talk about stuff like this, man. Like, even if we end up not doing any of the stuff that I'm talking about, we need to be heading in a direction. Because this waffling between one side and the other that both don't give a shit about our country, and I am just talking about the US, but the same thing goes in a lot of other countries, like, if we just keep doing that, we're not going to make any progress at all. In fact, things are getting worse, because we're just slowly slipping down. Americans voted for this, a majority of them wanted it. Have you ever been lied to before? Have you ever been, like, here's actually something that goes into psychology. In psychology, there is a phenomenon that if you give somebody two choices, like, if you ask somebody if they want to do something for you, like, you ask them to do you a favor, most likely they're gonna say no. If you ask somebody if they want to do this thing or this thing for you, if you give them two options, they will most likely give an answer. They will most likely do one or the other for you, because the human brain likes choices. And I'm not saying that we're all stupid. It's just a subconscious thing that happens. Ooh, look, a dreidel. It's just the way that the human brain works. And so when we're given the option of this team or this team, people will vote for one of the teams, even though neither of the teams should be voted for. For example, so Norway is very socialist, but considered to work very well. Yeah, they are insanely socialist. A lot of the systems they have in place are incredibly social. They are not a socialist country, unfortunately. There is no actual slap that chest. Yeah, I'm still catching up on chat. I'm so sorry. I'm noticing how far behind I am. Hey, Aleph, how are you doing? I got 3rd-degree burns from your take. For real, for real. I'm so sorry. I know this can be a lot, and I am concerned that I might lose some subscribers or followers over this, because I know this stuff isn't easy to talk about. But I do also want people to know that these opinions will very rarely make it onto streams. It's just because people asked for this. You asked for this, people. You voted for it, even. So here I am doing a hot take stream, handprint on my titty. Yes, exactly. I didn't know it was a game. Piggy Bank, I didn't know it was a game. It is a game. We are playing a video game. Thank you for the reminder. I'll get back to it. I'm just trying to catch up on chat real quick. My hot take is that being judgmental is okay, but that I think you should put the piggy bank somewhere else. What, you don't just keep your piggy bank out in the open where anybody can smash it for you? That's not a good spot for it. I thought it was a stream screen. That actually is kind of cool. That would be kind of a cool screen. But also shouldn't be the idea that it is not questioned as best outcome. I believe that for us humans, best outcome is not communism, that's something in between. That's incredibly fair. If we look at the history of man, we very much do have a trade system kind of in our DNA. So most human civilizations have had some sort of trade system. So like, I understand why democracy, like why the current system and capitalism, that's the word I'm looking for, not democracy, my fucking brain, dude. Why capitalism has evolved, I do understand that, but I think now that we've done the experiment, we should recognize all of the faults with it and move elsewhere. Ad break, thank you. So here I am doing a hot take stream, handprint on my titty. Thank you for quoting Tango specifically for that, I appreciate it. Waffles. Yes, waffles. Here's my hot take. Bureaucracy is bureaucracy for any government as long as it does not start working only for bureaucracy. Yeah, pretty much. Shit is necessary. Hot takes are more important than games. Yeah, but like, I don't know. I understand that just staring at a nothing like screen can be boring as well though. And then the stream is a perfect background noise because you're doing the PES. I don't know what that means, Minnie, but thank you. I appreciate it. I think. I hate the entry-level industry and oh god, legit, and the level of corporate greed that's in them because they want experience for entry-level pay. Dude, I got so fucking angry the other day. So I have 2 degrees. I have my bachelor's and my master's. My master's is in data analytics, so I've been trying to move my way into the tech industry for like 2 years now. And it's become like an actual situation for real. But I got so mad the other day, not the other day, it was a couple of months ago now, but I've been telling people about it ever since. I've been looking at mostly entry-level jobs because a lot of the tech industry has, like the top has sort of started collapsing, so a lot of people who with more experience are taking lesser experienced jobs. So like somebody who's with 20 years of experience is taking a job that only requires 10, you know? And so everybody's just kind of getting shuffled downward. And so I was looking into entry-level jobs just to fucking do it, and one of the jobs that I found, it literally said entry level, 8 years of experience required, and I'm like, I will murder everybody in your company. Like, this is murder worthy. This is not okay. 8 years of experience for an entry level job is not okay. I'll have a good one, Porro. I'll see you later. If you get a chance to stop back and say hi to the monsters for us. All right, starting dinner, plating, and gotta go attend to a pretty girl. Do it, Whistles. Happy Valentine's Day. Y'all are beautiful people and deserve all the love. Happy V-Day. Thank you, Skier, for having the bravery to speak to truth to power. You're a real one. I love you, Whistles. Have a good rest of your day. Say hi to the spousal unit for us. Everyone gets shuffled downward, and the people who don't have experience get shafted. Fucking legit. 1000%. I have been shafted more than I would like to admit recently. It fucking sucks. Alright, so we hide the piggy bank because Poro said we have to. Good luck with the little monsters. Alright, I'm gonna focus on this just for like a couple of minutes because I do Can we make this stand up? Do you stand up? Do you just lay flat? Just to inconvenience me, huh? You just lay flat to inconvenience me. That's fantastic. You just lay on the floor. Oh, you know what? Maybe on the desk? Is there anywhere behind the desk? Let me just empty this out. Give me a second. Oh, there's a desk thingy. Alright, you get to get in there. You can go up here. That can get moved over a smidge. Because you need music directly in your face when you're doing art, right? My hot take is some kinks should maybe be shamed or questioned. Kink does not exist in a vacuum, not to mention a lot of it is rooted in patriarchy and authoritarianism. Yeah, I will not elaborate because this is not my hot take stream. So I have difficulty when it comes to talking about sexuality in public. I don't know if I'm really gonna address a lot of that type of stuff in this stream. I'm not sure if this is the place that I would bring a lot of this stuff up, unfortunately. But yes, there are some kinks that can become toxic, and they're not taking place in good faith, if that makes sense to literally anybody except me. Can you stack these? What kind of maniac? There we go. Thank you. Okay, it is an interesting thing about how work and after uni work often work. Because of low population, we often do more fields than usual, but also that means that it's possible to get some of the tech industry jobs with any degree, as long as you have any experience, meaning if you have any experience in any degree, you can get a lot of jobs. So maybe just move to Lithuania. I'm fucking on it. I'm not even kidding. I've been trying to move out of the US for 2 years. Probably longer than that, technically, but no, you have no obligation to respond. You asked us earlier for hot takes. No, I wasn't talking, like, I was kind of addressing that with the chat. Like, thank you for the hot takes option. Like, I appreciate you very much, Tango. I was just also letting people know, like, that's probably not something that I'm going to end up really talking about as such, you know? Dude, I might actually, like, I've been looking for some countries that will let me move there. Is Lithuania part of the Schengen area? Give me a second, I'm Googling. Why is it so quiet? Like, as soon as I start doing something, the music's like, nah, we're just gonna listen to owls. It is part of the Schengen area. What's the cost of living to income ratio? Yeah, but what's the average income? Sorry guys, I'm Googling. I think I'd have to do a little bit more research on income versus cost of living. Hey, Sucre, did you take your ADHD meds today? I did. Like 8 hours ago. Is it that obvious? Don't be mean to me. No, lurk it up, porro. Go for the lurk. It is part of the Schengen area, dude. I don't know, man. Fun fact there, Slav, Lithuania is a big part of my heritage. Ooh. My last name is Lithuanian. That's cool as shit. Like medieval Lithuanian, but yeah. And counter hot take. It's alright to have kinks, but some kinks should stay dreams and don't need to be elaborated or even experienced. There are some kinks that you will, like vor. Vor is one of those that's very difficult to experience without actually causing harm to somebody or yourself. So, like, there are some kinks that should very much stay as dreams or be fantasized, you know, you can make it feel like I've seen some like examples of people who are into vor that will lay on a table with food around them and people will pick up the food around them and eat that. So it's just more what word am I looking for? It's like it's more a fantasy than actually causing harm. But yeah, there are definitely some that the thing is that it's difficult because you start getting into like Freudian territory, and Freud was a fucking idiot. So I don't want to necessarily say that a lot of the kinks that we have are ones that we develop in as you know, younger people, but we don't really have a system set up to make any sort of sex okay. Like, we don't talk about sex with children, and we don't talk about sex with young people that are trying to experience it for the first time. It's very much taboo to have those kinds of conversations with children. And so we, in my culture in the US, obviously you have places like France or other countries that are very, very open with their kids about sexuality and sex, and they're much more, you know, sexually healthy. But the expression of sexuality in the US is, I think, a lot of that oppression is what's causing a lot of the kinks that we have, because we aren't able to express our sexuality or express our interest in sex in such a can't wait for the In Defense of Kinks 2-hour-long video. Yes, Cookie, get on it. We're waiting. I lost my... I'm sorry, I love you. No, you're okay, Poro, thank you. But thank you for the reminder, just in case I had forgotten. Minimum wage in Lithuania before taxes is over 1,000 right now, but what's cost of living? Living expenses really depends on the city. Okay. Yeah, I would have to do like a side-by-side comparison, but there are a lot of countries I've kind of been looking into, and if I could just get to a country that's willing to sponsor me, like with a company that's willing to sponsor me, I think I would kind of be willing to move anywhere inside the Schengen area, honestly. Is talking about DLC and Hollow Knight a spoiler? I don't know if I'm gonna do any of the DLC. I do have it, but and maybe I'll do it eventually. If you'd like to chat about it, this might not be like the best time, but go for it. Hot take, do sirens need to be scary to be taken seriously? Would people move out of the way for loud audible ice cream truck sounds or clown music if they understood what it signified? That's not really a hot take so much as a psychological take. So the thing about loud and abrupt noises is that you're more likely to hear them. So like, I know that when you're standing on the street and you can hear the sirens coming from a mile off, and as they get louder and louder, you can hear it inside of your skull. But somebody who's in their car with their music blaring and they're not paying attention or looking behind them and they don't see the lights, that loud piercing noise is more likely to be noticed. So it is necessary for the safety of everybody involved. Like there are some, I'd have to look up the studies again. I vaguely remember having a conversation similar to this like a decade ago. But some of the sounds in the UK, their sirens are not piercing enough. So a lot of times people don't recognize that there's an emergency until they see the flashing lights. So Vilnius capital will be more expensive. Oh, that's such a cool fucking name though. Like, it would be more expensive by quite a bit, but it would most likely be where a lot of the tech jobs would be. I would be willing to bet, because most tech industry or tech jobs, tech companies tend to go more towards hubs. So like cultural hubs and whatnot, because they can get more people that way. That is first time I hear that someone would have a second name as a Lithuanian. Thought my surname was Lithuanian is a bit funny. The second name is Lithuanian? I think they are saying that their last name is Lithuanian. I'm very confused. I know nothing about your culture. I am an idiot. Car alarms don't do anything nowadays, so who cares? Honestly, I genuinely look outside every time just in case it's mine, because I don't know what my alarm sounds like. And yeah, nobody's gonna try and stop a robbery. That's something else, is that like with the increase in crime, and actually until just recently, we were having a decrease in violent crime. So like since the 1990s, we've had in the US, we've had a huge decrease in violent crime over with increases in education and decreases in poverty and stuff like that. So we were doing a lot of really good, and then the pandemic hit and people are poorer than ever. And remarkably, the violent crime rates did not skyrocket like they should have, like one would expect in times of strife, but other types of crime like property crime did go up quite a bit. For example, I can live under 1K per month, but I do have my own apartment, so I pay only for things like electricity into the bank. Yeah, that's fair. Thank you, Porro. I love you. Education equals empowerment, yes. But actual education, not this fucking bullshit they're trying to introduce in the South. This religious education with, you know, censorship and weird perspectives on history and all kinds of shit. It's ridiculous. Empowerment and safety when it comes to sex and sexuality, yes, that for sure. I'm sorry, I didn't actually finish the sentence. And unfortunately in the US we're incredibly prudish, yes, and also purposefully keep people ignorant. There's a whole topic there beyond just kink, TBH. Yeah, I know, I touched on that, yeah. I don't blame you for not wanting to jump into everything right now. That is a huge topic. I do want to get into like gender identity and sexuality, or sexual identity. That is definitely something that's difficult to talk about without referencing my own experiences, and I am trying to keep that part vague, just because I don't know. I don't talk to people about that shit all the time, so. But I do agree. I think a lot of the stuff should be addressed more openly, and people need to be. One of the things that I've noticed a lot, especially with trans people, so like with trans children, this mentality that a lot of people have been having that are sort of like anti-gender affirming care is the thing that I've really been hitting a wall with people, is that people seem to think that like your children are transitioning. Like, that's so bonkers to me. Like, the misinformation about what gender affirming care is, when 99% of gender affirming care is just therapy to make sure that they understand what they're talking about. Like, educating the child because the educational system isn't doing it and their families might not be capable of doing it themselves. So you get an expert involved. You let them talk to a fucking therapist. The therapist isn't convincing them of anything. Whatever these fucking insane people seem to think therapists are doing, they're not convincing your child they're trans. They're letting your child explore the idea and figure out if they are. And the fact that people are so afraid of gender affirming care is just mind-blowing to me. Anyway, sorry. The Pantheon are not in order of difficulty, but oh, you're still talking about, I still don't. Yeah, most tech jobs are in the capital, but there are tech jobs in other cities like Kaunas. I don't know how to pronounce that one. I also don't know how to pronounce that one. I'm definitely going to take a look. I've been keeping my eye out for like literal years, so. Not gonna lie, as I'm cooking here, like the pirate I am, when I heard you say sirens, my first thought was sirens from the sea. Also, yes, my surname is Lithuanian. That's so funny. That is absolutely hilarious. Give me 1 second. Bigger issue. Companies in Vilnius more likely to hire foreigner than other cities. That is good to know as well. Missed one, Poro. Oh, thank you, Minnie. I didn't realize that was from you, Minnie. You're so sweet. Thank you. I grew up homeschooled and my sex education was comprised of abstinence-only bullshit. Like, that's... Genuinely, there's research that shows that abstinence-only in education in schools and areas that practice abstinence-only have higher rates of teen pregnancy and sexually transmitted diseases. Like, it does not work. It is whatever you're trying to accomplish with it. It is not working. You absolute insane people. No, that's super fair. Only talk about you want to talk about Dinky Porro. Body shaming would be a good topic along with sexually themed talk because a lot of it comes down to self-identity. Dude, right? Body shaming is absolutely something that drives me mad because you'll meet somebody that is trans, and one of the things, like, I hate to bring up trans people again because I'm not trans, so I'm not talking from the perspective of a trans person, but as somebody that has trans friends and interacts with trans people in a way that I, hope makes them feel comfortable, I also get them to talk a lot about their experiences. So I'm not trying to say that I'm an expert by any stretch, but one of the things that I've noticed is that a lot of times when you're talking to somebody that's trans, the things they're uncomfortable about are the way they're perceived. Like, they're not uncomfortable with wearing certain clothes, they're not uncomfortable with the way their voice sounds or anything like that. They're uncomfortable with the fact that people will see them that way. They are uncomfortable with the fact that, you know, a trans woman will feel like their voice is too deep, and that people are going to notice that, and they're going to judge the fact that their voice is deeper than what is considered, air quotes, feminine. And like, that's disgusting to me. And that's not just body, you know, that's not just like accepting of body, that also goes into other aspects of society, and that's just like accepting who somebody is when you look at them and not needing to know if they're a man or a woman. Like, that is one of those things that you don't need to know. If you are interacting with somebody at the grocery store that's checking you out, and they say have a nice day in a deep voice, but they have feminine features and long hair, you say you too and go home. Like, I don't know why that becomes a conversation. Anyway, I'm so sorry. But yeah, body shaming is a fucking no-go for me. Like, I get borderline livid when I see people commenting on other people's features on anything to do with your physical being. Because, like, you don't have control over how you look. At least not, like, to an extent you do, but not really. I look at the icons, so slob and cap here are confusing me. I don't know what you're talking about again, Minnie. I'm so sorry. All right, if you can check on Lithuania, then you should check on Estonia too. They have a lot of tech jobs, as I know. I think the main thing that I'm looking for, sorry to change topics like immediately. I think the main thing that I'm looking for in somewhere that I can live is somewhere that I can move from as well. So if I move there and I'm making like good money to live there, but it turns out that I'm not going to have enough to move out of there, that's might be a no-go for me. So I'm just going to have to do a lot of research and just kind of look at what's going on. Tell me there's not a space right there, right? I am so annoyed right now. All right. 100,000% therapy, maybe social transition, trying names, trying clothing, etc. Maybe puberty blockers, which are fine, which get framed as HRT. Yeah, right? When they're literally not. They're literally not. You're like, people, like, your puberty blockers are effectively just moving your puberty slightly forward. It has no negative impact on your body. Like, you will still, like, form, if you decide that, you know, you don't actually, that you are cis, that you do feel your gender, like, you can just stop taking them and your body will develop in that way. Like, it's so frustrating to me. But actual HRT being used in younger teens is incredibly rare. It's not unheard of. There are situations where a child is, like, suicidal, genuinely has thoughts of self-harm, genuinely is unable to accept themselves. A lot of people with body dysmorphia and a bunch of other fun, fantastical things like that, they can, at the very end of a very extreme and long road, potentially have hormone replacement. Very rare in people under 18 though, and most of the time they would even recommend they wait until they're 18 to make that decision. So, like, again, it's all up to the therapist and their conversation with the kid and the parents, obviously. People just use the topic to create fear and misinformation in order to erode rights for trans people. Ugh. Yes. Me confused, I go to YouTube. All right, have a good one, Minnie. Thank you for hanging out. Okay, my take on transgender care for children. Why is it always talked about education of transitioning and trying things, but I do not hear about teaching to be comfortable with body and sex, the body and the sex that one has. I'm scared, I love you, so I don't mean this in the most respectful way, but you don't need to be sorry. Stop apologizing for telling us how you feel about these topics. We literally want this hot take stream. If people don't like it, they can piss off. I love you, Reg. So the thing about transitioning and trans identity is that, like, when people are going into therapy, they are being given the option to understand that who they are is okay, and they are able to represent their sexuality and represent their gender identity and things like that. So, like, nobody's saying there's definitely something wrong with you, you should absolutely be trans. Like, that is one of the options. It's just that and the option that maybe they're not. Like, we need to let children understand that there are other options besides just the cis identity. And, like, the frustrating thing, because, and this is another hot take that I might not really delve into as much, I believe personally, and I understand there are a lot of people that fight for their gender identities, I fully understand where they're coming from, but I also believe that we need to start heading towards more non-binary, like, cultures. Like, I think that our culture is very stagnant in thinking that there is any real difference between genders. Like, I honestly, genuinely believe we should start heading towards a society that embraces, like, non-binary ideals. This is so difficult to talk about. Especially because, like, I happen to live in a country that not allows us, but it does. Gender is performance. It's not binary or real. I love you, Malachi. Hi, Malachi. But yeah, that's one of the things that I also get really frustrated with is like, well, why don't people just, get comfortable with who they are? Because if a man wants to wear dresses because dresses are comfortable and they like the way that makes them look and it improves their self-confidence, they will, like, somebody that is like a cis man would be, like, absolutely destroyed in modern society. Like, every once in a while, I'll see somebody confidently wearing something that is outside of their gender in the U.S., outside of their gender, like the stereotype that is the social standards for that gender. Like a man wearing dangly earrings while wearing, like, a suit. That was one of my favorite examples, is that I saw a man walk in wearing a fucking 3-piece suit with dangly earrings on, and he fucking rocked the shit out of it. He looked gorgeous. At the same time, though, like, we as a society are not ready for that. So I think before we can move into accepting people as they are, people are just saying, well, I don't need to say that I'm a man, or like, I need to say that I'm a woman then, because I want to represent myself in a way that is stereotypically and traditionally feminine. So I think that it's a necessity with the current binary that we are enforcing in modern society, even though it's not actually, in my mind, I don't think that any gender that somebody says they are is actually representative of who they are. So, like, that one's difficult for me to talk about because I think gender should just piss off anyway. Sorry. Regarding the abstinence and sex point in Brazil, teen pregnancy was really high, but they straight up plummeted when the government started distributing fucking condoms free of any charge or registration in its health clinics. There's so much research and practical application for that abstinence only doesn't work. Give them fucking condoms. Tell them how to have, like, safe sex and let them be teenagers, because they're just gonna do it anyway. They're just gonna do it less safe because they don't know any better. There's actually a lot of research and medical consensus on trans people being the gender they identify as. Yeah, no, and not the gender they're assigned at birth. And on the appropriate treatment being gender-affirming care, therapy, social transition, medical transitioning, including hormones and surgeries. As someone who falls under the trans umbrella, let's just say non-binary, all of the therapy in the world wouldn't help my gender dysphoria, and the thing that helped was significant breast reduction. Yeah, I remember that. That, again, is something that goes into the psychology of it, which I'm not fully versed on, unfortunately. As a cis person, I don't experience I don't experience gender dysphoria. At least I've explored the idea of about a bunch of what I feel might be that, but I don't think I do. And so, like, what was I gonna say? I continued reading and I forgot. Oh, being the gender that they are. Yeah, no, they're actual, like, a lot of people like to bring up biology and talk about biology and how they're biologically this, that, and the other. First of all, XY chromosomes are not a good identifier. There are people with one or the other that present as the wrong gender, and that's from birth. There are portions of the brain, like, this is in the actual fun part, is that gay men have a portion of the brain that looks more like, trans men. I'm trying to remember. This is something that I watched in a video like months and months ago, so I can't remember. It might have been trans men, but I think it was gay men that is more similar to a woman in that portion of a woman's brain than of a cis man's brain. So, like, there are a lot of things that in biology would say that trans people are the gender that they say they are. I didn't say any of that correctly, mostly because you already said it. Like, you already said all of that in very good terms, so thank you. Yes, it drives me nuts because we have the data. Sex education and contraception reduce the STIs and unwanted pregnancies, and yet so many people are opposed to providing the education and access to contraceptives. It's because they're so repressed, they feel like talking to a child about sex is sexualizing the child, which is bonkers to me. Like, talking to your child about sex is not sexualizing them. You are allowed to have a conversation with somebody you don't want to fuck. I'm sorry. Like, thinking that telling your child that sex is like an act between two individuals that, you know, care about each other, or, you know, talking about things like kinks and whatnot with when I say children, I'm talking like of reproductive age. I'm not saying you should have this conversation with your 5-year-old, but like with people that are underage. I mean, if the child is sexually developed at 5, fucking do it, but you know what I mean. Give me a second. I'm just reading you guys. Like, you guys are just having the hot takes for me. I appreciate that. Don't even get me started on biology. You know what changes your biology? Fucking hormones. I mean, exploring it and trying it out and realizing you're cis anyway is actually cool because you're intentional about shit. Yes, exactly. I made the decision that I'm cis. Like, that is something that is a conclusion I came to, and I am willing to change that if something else comes up and it turns out that I'm not. Like, I am fully aware that who I am and the identity that I present is absolutely manufactured by me and only me. So like, I've decided that right now in my life I am cis. And that is subject to change. Sorry, I get a bit heated. No, dude, fucking heat it up. This is a hot takes, not a cold takes. I just tuned in, but my take is that intersex comes in many different forms. Yeah, exactly. Gender is another fucking spectrum. Everything's a goddamn spectrum. You can have all kinds of configurations of parts and sex characteristics. You're talking biologically, but yeah, that too. They still have gender, as is seen by having both parts, being assigned one or the other, because you have to pick one apparently, and then having or developing gender dysphoria. That is actually something that is documented, very well documented historically. People that are are intersex and their parents chose one or the other for them because they had to, you know, like they were saying, like Esty is saying, having both reproductive organs, and so that as a baby, their parents are forced to decide if they want a boy or a girl. And this isn't practiced as much nowadays. Now, a lot of people will just recommend that you let the child grow up and develop their own identity, but it does still happen. And so they'll very often have to decide, and then the child can grow up and develop gender dysphoria because they picked the wrong fucking one. Like, it's so dumb. Trans people who are not intersex are just a different kind of intersex that happens in the brain, legitimately. Oh, hello. As with all topics, you pare down to developmentally appropriate. I love you, Follow the River. Welcome to it, and also hello. You picked the exact wrong stream to come in on. But thank you. Welcome to it. Hello. Talking to your child about death is not killing them. Also, unconscious people don't want tea. I don't know what that means, but I love it anyway. Yeah, because puritanical, Christo-fascist, evangelical, this is very difficult to say, nationalism represses sex as a measure of control. Incredibly, yes. Age-appropriate sex education looks different at different ages. Yes, thank you. Teaching a 5-year-old about their body and how it works isn't inappropriate. Teaching kids about how their bodies are going to change and what appropriate versus inappropriate touch is, etc. can start at pretty early ages and actually protect the kids because it empowers them to know themselves and have boundaries. This is something that I've heard somebody talk about, well, I've heard a million people talk about, but one person in particular stuck in my mind. It was a comedian talking about how their mother would force them to give their aunt hugs, and they went off. They were like, no, your bodily autonomy starts at fucking birth. Like, your body belongs to you from birth. So if you don't want to give someone a hug for whatever reason, you should not be required to. And I agree with that 1000%. Sorry. As well as them having words to tell adults what's happening to them. Yeah, children don't know how to communicate. From day one, they do not have the words, they do not have the emotional control, they do not. You have to teach them these things, and if you don't teach them, they are not capable of explaining things to you or even recognizing that there's a problem. There are so many people that came from childhoods where they were sexually abused by somebody in their family or whatever that didn't even realize it was an issue until they grew up and went to fucking therapy about it. Like, there's so many examples of that shit happening and them not even recognizing it's a problem until somebody tells them. It's fucking disgusting and depressing. Side note, my favorite food, thank you, Esty, my favorite food I'd had was these brie cheese curds with lingonberry jam. Hell yeah. I'd only had them once, but I've just gotten them again and discovered I can not only no longer have them, the reaction is so strong I can't even pretend. The taste is horrible, I don't know how to describe it, I'm so sad. I know they're exactly the same, it's just my body decides it hates them more. Dude, that fucking hurts. I'm so sorry. Oh, you're new. Yes, you are new. Thank you. Welcome, River. Nice to meet you. River, no, I came to this stream explicitly for this. I'm so glad. Hello, River. Thank you and welcome to it. I'm barely keeping up with chat, so if you have any interest in the game or in me responding to you within several minutes of you saying something, again, not the right stream for it, but thank you. I'm glad that you're here to witness the hot takes. But I want unconscious people. Sad face. What are we talking about? Bodily autonomy. Ah, yes. Don't make your fucking kids hug people. Legit. It's so weird to me. Okay, gender stuff is not a thing I can discuss. I will go take a walk and have a lurk. Yeah, no. Have a good one, Slob. I'm sure we'll be on to other topics soon. But whatever you're comfortable with. As I've said to everybody, and I'm going to say it again, if we get onto a topic you're not comfortable with, if you feel like you need to step out, if you don't think that we're approaching things in a way that you feel comfortable with, please, you're welcome to leave. Like, you can also stick around and express your opinions if you want. Like, I'm fully open to everybody's opinions if you have an opinion on a topic, but you are also allowed to leave. Like, obviously everybody's allowed to leave. We were just talking about bodily autonomy. You can leave. But at the same time, I just want everybody to be comfortable. If a large portion of the chat decides that they don't want to talk about something, I'm also happy to change the subject. So, unconscious people don't want tea is a hilarious video I saw about how everyone inherently understands consent, sex metaphor. If you invite someone over for tea and they get to your house, they don't want tea, you don't force them to drink the tea. Just because you had tea with someone last week doesn't mean that you are entitled to having tea with them today. Unconscious people don't want tea. Do not try to pour the tea down their throat. I fucking love that analogy so very, very much. I've gone so far as to, when meeting little cousins at family gatherings, I will contradict their parents trying to make them hug me or even shake my hand. I'm like, it's okay, they're allowed to say no. I fucking love you, Malachi. I will legit pause and look at the child. I'm not talking about them while they're here. That reminds me of one of my favorite phrases, nothing about me without me. And like, that goes for children as well. Nothing about them without them. So if we're making a decision about whether or not I'm hugging the child, I'm going to ask the child if they want to hug. One of my favorite analogies about consent. Yeah, I've never heard that before. It's so good. Or maybe I have. I just don't remember. All right, I'm done cooking. Much love, everybody. We love you, Berry Bunches. Rag, thank you for stopping by. Have a good rest of your day. Yeah, and so they said unconscious people don't want tea, but I want unconscious people. Because you are tea. Yes, I get it now. I understand the joke now. Okay. That was a lot. We went through a lot. We've talked a lot. I'm dehydrated now. All right, let me play this game for like a couple of minutes at least. Okay, this is my favorite. So you get to sit. Oh, you can't sit on the pillow. This is bullshit. 2 out of 10. Water, thank you. Thank you, Aster. Oh, I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna be here. More is what I meant. Sorry, Obscure. No, you're totally good. Thank you. Thank you. I think I missed something in chat again. Maybe you can meet someone who will who will have consent to having tea while unconscious, but you'll have to arrange it beforehand. Exactly. Oh, okay. Back when I lived close to family, I'd always tell my nephews that they didn't have to hug or say anything or even wave if they don't want to. A kid internalizing that they have autonomy is more important than an adult feeling rejected, for Christ's sake. Fucking legit. You're a grown-ass adult. Deal with your rejection issues. Like, it's fine. Because, like, I've legitimately seen adults do that shit where they're just like, oh, now they won't hug me, they don't love me. I'm like, you are an adult. You are a full grown-ass adult. Get over it. I'm just trying to put shit away at this point. I don't have, like, an opinion on where things go. Okay, I do have an opinion on where that goes. That does not go there. We already passed on the kink conversation, Tipples. I'm teasing. We could circle back to any topic that we've kind of wandered off from. I don't dislike the idea of the kink conversation. I just feel like it's also not something that I can really talk about with any sort of authority. It's not something that's come up in my life like a lot. All right. Fuck it. It's good enough. Let's go. Steering it back there. Alrighty, we're going back now. I don't know. Well, let's talk about sexual identity then. I feel like, well, everything is a spectrum, and I think the sexual identity is one that we need to stop saying straight or gay or pan or like. I'm very much one of those that I think that a lot of these labels that we use should very much, they're used for communication. You need to be able to tell somebody what your interests are. Like when you're having that conversation for the first time in a relationship, you need to be able to tell them what you're sexually attracted to. And that's why we do end up with things like straight, gay, blah, blah, blah. They also frustrate the hell out of me because while they are significant in the communication aspect, they also put people in a box. Like if I tell somebody that I am, you know, the one sexuality, and that, like, if I tell somebody I'm gay and then, you know, I find myself attracted to a man, then that becomes an additional conversation that I have to have with people because it becomes this thing where, like, you're gay, you shouldn't be interested in men. Like, it is a fucking spectrum, and it's also on a person-to-person basis. Like, you will be attracted to people, like, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that, but you will be attracted to people. Hot take, I'm monogamous because I think I'm already a lot to handle in a relationship, so bringing just a second person into the mix is already pretty intense. I am also a lot to handle. The only reason I consider myself monogamous is because I have jealousy issues, not like issues, because I am, you know, an intelligent individual that's capable of recognizing my jealousy and that it is not actually valuable to the relationship, so I don't actually cause any issues. I just don't know if I could handle being in a poly relationship. Labels are useful in a way to understand yourself better, but they're a descriptive tool, not a prescriptive thing. Exactly, but we use them prescriptively in our society anyway. I'm gonna be contrary on that point though. I've known people who felt transcendent joy when they find out there's a word for it, so labels can be good and important. That is incredibly, incredibly fair actually, because I have myself experienced that. So legitimately, yes, understanding that there's a word for it and being able to find your people or find your community because of those words, incredibly useful. The problem, I think that Poro put it actually way better than I did, in that it becomes prescriptive. It becomes not a tool to explain or describe your identity, it becomes the definition of your identity. And it's just, it's not, like, it should be something that we're comfortable changing from day to day. And that's why I love people that are like gender fluid or sexuality fluid, because they are comfortable and aware of the fact that that shit changes day to day. You will be attracted to people that aren't necessarily normally your type, and that goes for people of different genders or non-gendered people or whatever. So, like, it's never just gonna be this thing that I told you is what I am and that's it forever. You're so real for that. Thank you, Poro. Yes, that. And they can help with building communities. Yeah, that's what I was kind of saying as well. I'm kind of, again, you're much better at this portion of things, Poro, just because you do represent a portion of that community that I'll never represent, unfortunately. Or maybe not never represent, you know what I mean? So you have more experience with it. So I do appreciate your input, Poro, quite a bit. Especially amongst marginalized groups, for real. And finding your group when your group is being told that they shouldn't even exist is fucking huge. So, winding back to the OMG kid. OMG, kid won't hug me, they don't love me, reminds me of family being offended because a parent doesn't let relatives hold their baby. Like, that bundle literally has zero immune system. Stop being dumbly offended, right? Like, that's something else that confuses the hell out of me. Or actually, bodily autonomy for pregnant people. Like, that's something else. I was watching, there's this YouTuber couple that I watch a lot, and they just had a baby, and the whole time they were pregnant, the mother started, like, she kept talking about how many people would just come up to her and touch her stomach, and she's like, nobody asks, they will just walk up to you and touch you. And I'm like, that is insane to me. What is it about babies and children that makes people feel like they are just entitled to you now? Like, that's so crazy. people change, that's just life. Yeah, exactly. Like and even if you don't want to consider it like an actual change, just who you are in moment to moment is going to be different because the circumstances are different. So maybe you would have always reacted that way in this circumstance, but you never met this circumstance before. So like people do similar things to all of these to their pets as well. Yes, very much. People just love touching pregnant folk. It's so gross, right? I'm entitled to petting your service dog, actually. Okay, there should be a law that if you have a service, not just kidding, bodily autonomy for animals as well. Or people just touching hair. Dude, oh my god, thank you. River, thank you for addressing this. So I had a mother that didn't want me to cut my hair because it was so pretty and you should never cut your hair. And I didn't have my first haircut until I was 29. So I had hair down to my ass my entire life. I had a hair trim when I was 9 years old and that was like to mid-back, but that was the shortest I'd ever had it. Do you have any idea how many times I was walking and like had my head yanked backward because somebody was like, ooh, hair? I'm like, what is wrong with you people? I literally just started wearing it in a bun when I was in my 20s. I was just like, fuck it, you cannot touch. Fuck. Yeah, the opposite problem. Oh, where you always had to have a haircut. Yeah, I have a friend that told me the same thing. They would just give them a bowl cut. Well, the US really likes to view children and women to some extent as possessions, for real. Objects don't have bodily autonomy. That's something that actually really frustrates me about and I'm not going to say that this is a common occurrence. I just mentioning it because my mother did this. She would have children to maintain or develop relationships with men. Almost all of her husbands, because she's been married multiple times, she had a child with. The only person she didn't have a child with was her most recent one, but that's because she was past childbearing age by that time. But like, I think a lot of times children are seen as a commodity. They are considered effectively possessions. You use them to get what you want. And that disgusts me. Sorry. There it goes. I shocked the shit out of someone who giggled showing me a J-pop video and said, wow, she's kind of hot. Oh, wow. She's kind of hot. They said, that's a dude. And I just shrugged and said, wow, he's kind of hot. I'm not generally attracted to other men, but the femme aesthetic was presenting in that moment and context was really attractive. Dude, like legit. I think that's the reason that like some of the conclusions I've come to with my sexuality is that like, because that shit's a spectrum. I have met people that I found attractive on every level of that. So like, but yeah, it's like, if you find somebody attractive, they're just fucking attractive. I'm sorry. Like, I remember that my sister had a friend. Now, keep in mind, my sister and everybody that she knew was incredibly conservative. And, but somehow she had a trans friend. Well, this was before trans, like, identities were more recognized. This was probably, like, 2 decades ago at this point. But she had a friend that I would imagine nowadays would probably have considered themselves trans. But who at the time went by he, him. And, but people would, like, they would be driving around, they would see my sister hanging out with this person and then later say, oh, you should tell your friend that I think she's hot. And my sister always thought it was so fucking funny that she could tell them, oh, that's a man, and watch them squirm. And that like always bothered me. To this day, that shit bothers me. Like that, you people are disgusting. I have the opposite problem. My mom wouldn't let me grow out my hair. Well, no, I wanted to be wild and long AF. She let it be long, but I hate how haircuts and trims look. My hair is really thin. I want it to look like it's never been touched with scissors. That can be a lot of fun. Like having it just wild is so much fun. Yes, and there's racial stuff about hair touching too. People being weird and self-reporting toward black hair. Dude, right? Like, fuck. But yes, I do have an actual hot take if you'll have it. No, share it. Give it. The US literally refused to adopt the UN's thing on children's rights. There's a whole history there, and I don't have time to get into it, but we literally chose to keep treating children as less than adults when it comes to autonomy and rights. Like, listen to me. I almost called you by my sister's name, I just realized. You just remind me of my sister so much sometimes, Poro. But like, legitimately, we have, the states in the US that are currently actively trying to get rid of like protection against child labor. So like the idea of children having autonomy at all has probably been off the table for like a couple hundred years. I'd be surprised if we ever made it that far. But that's another reason I need to get the fuck out of this country. Okay, we've gotten to the bottom of chat. I'm going to pretend to play a video game for a couple of minutes until chat gets rowdy again. Who packs like this? This person is insane. What? Why is this in that? Who packs like this? You absolute nut. Okay, so this is for drawing. Do you think drawing stuff should go in here or just clothes? There's not really a lot of storage room elsewhere. Alright, I guess just up here for the meantime. Obscure siblings lore! Yes, I have many siblings. If I'm talking about a sibling, I am talking of one of many people. Like, so many people. You will never be able to narrow it down. Rowdy chat, my kind of hangout. Welcome to it, Murph! Hi! We're talking about, hot topics. Not the store. You know what? Why am I trying to explain this? We're having a hot take stream. We are talking about things that are very, very much uncomfortable for a lot of people, so I'm just giving you a heads up. We are not arguing. If anybody has any strong opinions and you're uncomfortable in chat, you are welcome to leave. You are also welcome to give your opinions as long as they're respectful and blah, 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 blah. Sorry. I know you, of all people, Murph, do not need this explained to you. It's just, since you're here, I thought I'd mention it. Hi, Murph, how you doing? For real, the gal in this game packs like so nonsensically, like it's hurting my soul a little bit. Our country right now is actually trying to make it easier for minors to work more jobs and hours as well as pay them less for it. Yep, 100,000%. 16-year-olds have always been on that end of things where they have to, Oh, thank you for the follow, River. I appreciate you. I do feel like I need to emphasize that I do not talk about this stuff super duper often. But thank you, you're very sweet. We almost went to a Hot Topic today. Went for a walk at the mall today, and Hot Topic Spencer is usually on the list of stops, but you skipped it today. I used to always try and stop by them because they used to have like references and stuff, but I think around the time that I stopped understanding the references on t-shirts, I was like, I might be too old for this. I think I've aged out, y'all. But yeah, they can be so much fun to just stop by it. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, they kept a little piggy. Why is the toothbrush just in this box? Just bare, like next to your freaking. You know what? It's fine. Oh, hey, there's another room. I didn't realize there was another room. Okay, what kind of fucking college kid has a bathroom of their own? Lamau Hot Topic is just so, like, so different, like, gacha toy boxes. Okay, I might have to go back for some gacha toys, but still, it's just like, it doesn't represent my generation anymore, you know? Which is fine, it has to keep up with the times, but at the same time, I'm like, it's not mine. It's not my Hot Topic. It's not where I bought those fucking boots when I was 16 and I spent way too much money on. I actually bought a Dr. Doom hat from Spencer's last week. Fuck yes, I did not. Okay, so I think Spencer's a little more geared toward our generation. I think Hot Topic is the one that's sort of fallen to the next generation. They've fallen to the next generation. Like, I could not relate at all. It sucks. Like, I want to be part of the in-jokes, you know? I'm just not cool enough. Not cool enough. Okay, don't put that by the electric outlet. There we go. Parfum. Toilette. Agua de toilette. I don't remember. That's gonna fall into the toilet if you put it on that side, right? Okay. Shampoo. Dude, the fucking silence in this game is deafening. Genuinely. There. You go in the bathtub, it's fine. Yeah, it sucks getting old, for real. For real. Hot Topic didn't change, you did. I keep getting older and they just stay the same age. Why is this in here? Why are you in here? person is a maniac. If anybody you know packs like this, fucking run. Like, absolutely run. This person is a maniac. Maniac, maniac. What and why and how? Oh, okay. Also, don't hang your towels like this. If you can get a bar, do that, because that is just mold waiting to happen. What? I can't. How do I can't do both. Sure, good enough. No. Yep. Hot topic didn't change, you did. Thank you for the quote. We have ads starting soon. I don't know if I'm going to be taking a break or if I'm going to be ending stream. I don't know about soon. I feel okay, but... Based, yeah. Boycott shampoo, demand real poo. Thank you, Tibbles. I appreciate you. I feel like we need to define the word gender specifically. Or officially, you mean. Because it seems like people are either saying gender is part of what and who you are, or it's a performance or doesn't exist. If gender is what you are, if gender is the thing that is incongruent with the trans person and requires transition to align, it is real. It is a component of sex. If it is just performance, why would you ever medically need to transition to perform? That's elective and cosmetic then. I know you said more, but let me try to address this one. As I said, again, I am not trans. It is not something that I can talk about with authority. However, I think us using gender as a descriptor for why somebody wants to transition is, again, just a label that makes it easier to communicate. In reality, I think it's more body dysmorphia that they're fixing. It has nothing so much to do with their gender. So I think gender and sex are distinctly different. So if somebody does have gender dysphoria, they don't necessarily need to transition. I know plenty of people that don't, or I know of plenty of people that don't. So I think that body dysphoria is the thing that is being corrected by medical transition, not the gender dysphoria. Does that make sense? So I do still feel like gender and sex are separate, and that if you have gender dysphoria, you don't necessarily need a medical transition to make it better, to feel better about your body. This is how I packed before I moved, because I leave almost everything to the last night. Tango, I will never help you move. I can't. I cannot. I feel most trans people will say that they needed to transition. It's not a preference, it just is. If being trans is a form of intersex, then gender is fixed and important, and it's not fluid. Otherwise, you just wait for it to shift and not transition. So I feel like we need different words if we're going to get anywhere, because being male in a female body is so different than from having a male body but sometimes feeling feminine and wanting to wear makeup. So you don't feel female, you don't feel male. It is genuinely, that's why I do like having the difference between sex and gender. Being effeminate and wanting to wear effeminate clothes is a gender thing. That wanting to wear effeminate clothes in a society that doesn't allow you to is very much something that is gender based. You want your presented gender, the way that it's interpreted by other people, you want that to be of a specific gender. That doesn't require medical transition necessarily. There are some things that you may want to do, like breasts are considered socially required for women. People with more effeminate voices are considered more feminine. So wanting to change your body is for body dysphoria reasons. Wanting to present as a specific gender is for gender reasons. It's the way that I think it goes. I don't know if this is like spoilery, but this game is a tad autobiographical according to the devs. She talked about that before sometime. Aw, I would like to never help them move either. Really, really makes me love it more. That's incredibly sweet though. I like that a lot. I've seen most of the gameplay of this, so I only pulled it up because it's one of those that I can talk like wow without a timer, you know, it's just very slow. But yeah, because she's a they actually did it because she's a nonsensical packer. I love it. I actually do adore that now. Thank you. Okay, now bye. Go, Poro. I love you. I've never heard that take before. I'm sorry. I don't know if it's a good one, but again, it's like, No. As a heads up, Suker, gender dysphoria is used to describe body dysphoria. Okay, I did not realize that those were used interchangeably. Just because body dysphoria is something that I personally suffer from. I've mentioned it on stream before, so that's something I'm a little more comfortable talking about. So I personally have body dysphoria, but I do not have gender dysphoria. So me thinking that my body is broken and that there's something like genuinely wrong with it has nothing to do with my gender. So I genuinely see those as two different things. I didn't recognize that people use them interchangeably. I didn't want to just say, oh, okay, but you were wrong though. That's okay, SD, I appreciate you. Tably, help me pack. I will genuinely go to your house and help. You sit down. I will pack your house. If this is how you pack, fuck off. You can sit. Also, another heads up, some people choose to use the term for themselves, but effeminate is is in general used as a derogatory way. Okay, see, I'm learning. I like the term effeminate myself, just because I think that, like, I can also say femme if that's easier. Femme is just like in my mind, and this is again coming from somebody who is not trans. I do not represent these people in any way, so if I'm talking about it and I'm incorrect, please correct me. I do not have any interest. Again, it's one of those not about me without me sort of conversations. I have no interest in representing somebody that is not here or that does not would not represent themselves in the same way. So yes, thank you for the information. I genuinely appreciate it. I did not know effeminate was considered derogatory. I'll make sure I don't use that anymore. I need her help first, I'm moving. Oh, I've never heard it as derogatory before. I mean, the people that are represented by that group are the ones that make that decision. So, like I have a friend, well, it's difficult when it comes to large groups of people, but I have a friend that is Native American. They prefer the term First Nations. So I was just hesitant to say First Nations because I was trying to explain. They prefer the term First Nations, but I have met people who are Native American who prefer the term Native American. So like it is just the people of that group. They're the ones that decide. If something is offensive to them, we don't fucking say it anymore. I'm sorry. We're now on break. Thank you. Body dysmorphia does not equal gender dysphoria, if that helps. Yes. What did you say? What were we talking about earlier? Am I misusing words again? Give me a second. Oh, dysmorphia versus dysphoria. God, I'm fucking stupid. I'm so sorry. My brain got so caught up in just talking about the concepts that I didn't notice that there was that you were talking about body dysphoria earlier instead of dysmorphia. I'm so sorry. Oh yes, body dysmorphia can sometimes look like gender dysphoria, and the opposite. It's so important to have good therapists, for real. And sometimes people transition only to realize that they're still dysmorphic. That's not super common. When people transition, there's very, very few people that transition back or feel like they shouldn't have transitioned. The number of people, I don't remember the actual numbers, I'm so sorry, but I can look it up if you want me to. The number of people that decide that they regret transitioning is lower than the number of people who have cosmetic surgeries like facelifts and tummy tucks and things like that regret their decision. Like, you're more likely to regret getting a tummy tuck than getting, a breast implant. So like, it's very, very unlikely. The percentage is like sub 1%. Like it's very, very small percentage of people that transition that regret their decision. So I am hesitant for when people say sometimes people transition only to realize they're still dysmorphic it is a difficult thing to talk about just because statistically it's highly unlikely to happen. But now they have actual gender dysphoria on top. I don't know about that one. Also, I've met Native American people that prefer Indian. Yeah, but because again, they've been Indian their entire lives. A lot of them tend to be part of the older communities because they've been an Indian since they were a kid. They have the Indian What is the name of the group that represents the Native American peoples to the government? I can't remember what it's called, but it literally has the word Indian in the name. So like, yeah, everybody's different, and I respect each individual's preference. I have body dysmorphia, history of eating disorder, fuck yeah, and gender dysphoria related to being gender fluid, and I took a long time to realize I wasn't cis because my body dysmorphia and gender dysphoria had a lot of overlap. It actually took until my ED was better controlled. I was in recovery to realize that the gender dysphoria was a completely separate thing, for real. So I have a hot take that is completely off topic. Let me catch up with the last 2 messages and then I'll read yours. 1 second, Rags. Essays very large and diverse. Wait, what are we talking about? Very, very large and diverse people group. I'm sure it's still used in many places. I don't know what essay is. What I'm similar-ish. Similar-ish-ish. No, that's fair. I just have heard some people express that the term effeminate is derogatory. Yeah, and each individual is absolutely entitled to that opinion. If somebody doesn't like the term, I will stop using it. And now that I know that some people don't like it, there's literally no reason for me not to find a better word. Like, it's fine. But not my place to determine that since it doesn't apply to me. Well, the fact that anyone in the group sort of said they didn't like it, like when it comes to something like, I use Native American as an example just because it's a convenient example. There are going to be people that are offended by terms like First Nations or do prefer Indian. So that one's a lot more difficult to find. Wait, give me a second. It's a very, very large essay. It's very, very large. I type how I pronounce my word. It's illegible sometimes. I generally do the same thing. I just didn't know what... Like you were saying, Itza? Specifically talking about the term Indian. I'm still a little confused for what the S'(A) is representing. I'm so sorry. I feel dumb right now. This, as I said, we've sort of approached a topic that I'm not versed in. So a lot of this is just coming from general perspective and people that I've met that are part of these groups that we're talking about. So I apologize if I sound uneducated. And as I said before, and I would like to emphasize, I am in no place to act as an authority in any of these. Oh, okay. So like Izza, basically. Don't worry about it. No. I love language, dude. Like most of the time, you'll probably hear me talking about language more often than the stuff that we're talking about today. So I absolutely adore it. Lurk Poro. Get back to what you're doing. I adore you immensely, and I love you very, very much. Also, go do what you need to do, and we will talk later. G transition rates are incredibly low. Oh shit! I almost forgot to go back to Rags. Give me a second. So I have a hot take that's completely off topic for everything that has been talked about so far, but thank you, ADHD. Welcome to it. Here we are. I hate the fact that people will make such a big deal on holidays and birthdays to celebrate someone that they love and that's in their lives, but they don't show the same kind of celebration for that person the rest of the year. I personally hate Valentine's for this reason, and I'm not for Christmas. I also don't normally celebrate my birthday because of it. Dude, I'm actually on the same level with you on that one. Like I was just encouraging somebody to take their spouse out for Valentine's Day a couple of days ago, and I was like, I actually felt slimy about it because I do the same thing. Like I don't like holidays because it very much is just like, let's give corporations a lot of money. It lets them know exactly when they should raise their prices. It lets them know exactly how to start marketing to us. Like it's corporations. Holidays are 1000% so that corporations can raise their bottom line. Like that's it. There's no reason for us to celebrate any of these holidays at all. Birthdays is one that's actually really difficult for me because I do not have good birthdays. I've never really had a good birthday. In fact, a lot of really bad stuff has happened on my birthdays throughout my life. So typically I don't even celebrate that myself. Like I'll take a happy birthday, but don't buy me any fucking presents, you know? But yeah. Same, I think is my point. Detransition rates are incredibly low, and a lot of it is due to lack of acceptance or lack of access to care. Yes, yeah, that's huge. But it's still good to acknowledge that there are a few people who do attempt to transition and realize later that they weren't actually trans. Like, it happens, but I think the reason that I'm hesitant, you're absolutely right. We should acknowledge it. The reason that I'm hesitant to begin with is that it's so often used, there are groups, generally far-right groups that will find those individuals and like post them all over the internet and do videos with them and have them, you know, as their frickin' representative, their little frickin' child that transitioned and decided they didn't want to. See how often it happens? I have 7 people in this room, and you're like, yeah, but those are the 7 from the last 7 years. Like, it's not like that's everybody from the last 7 years that detransitioned or regretted their decision. Like, finding those individuals and making them like the representative of their cause is what really frustrates me, and that's why yes, we should acknowledge it. You're absolutely right. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have been so dismissive of it. True, act true, TCP handshake. It's so funny how we can think of that, or at least I do, our stuff, if it were X, would fit neatly into separate boxes, but actually you're just existing and being what you are. You wind up with a lot to untangle that you always thought was one thing, dude, like legitimately. And this is not this has nothing to do with gender or body or anything like that. My ADHD was something that I didn't recognize that I had, because I so very much put it into my like trauma responses that I have, because I have a lot of trauma from my childhood, so I have a lot of trauma responses, and a lot of my ADHD symptoms very much fell under my trauma responses, and like, so I just assumed that that's what it was, and so I didn't even get medicated until I was 29, because I had no idea. It was just like that is just who I am because of what I went through, and there's nothing I can do about it. And it was, yeah, so we do very much just package things into a box, and then you go to a new bathroom and you go to unpack it and you're like, why is this bra in my box that went to the bathroom? Because you put it in the wrong box, bitch. Give me a second. Yeah, I never had family that grew up and celebrated things very much, but we did love each other and just kind of showed that as much as we could through all the small things. That's exactly all the small things. Sorry. Yeah, that's exactly how it should be. 100% agree, but we can keep Halloween. Fuck yes. That one's a necessity. That one's a cultural icon. I like Christmas, and I like that period. I do like the period around Christmas, actually. I like the way that it feels. I still don't buy people presents. I still don't celebrate on the day of. I hang out with people around that period. But yeah, the festivities and the sort of jolliness is absolutely an enjoyable experience. Kaz! Hello, Kaz. How are you today? I'm still catching up with chat, so if anybody's said anything to me recently, I will not get to it for another minute. I love making things special. There's no motivation to crack open the champagne or make things extra pretty or get the big family together all at once without special days. That's fair. I mean, like, but if we could set them ourselves, instead of them being a cultural requirement or one that's set by an industry or something like that, we should have those days. We should make those decisions independently. They shouldn't be decided for us. And like, dude, my mom and I will absolutely, freaking break out the champagne over the most dumb shit. Like, she plays the lottery, and if she wins anything more than $20, we usually go out to lunch. It's often used as a weapon. I'm so sorry, Kaz. I was catching up with chat, so I don't know what you're referring to. I'm so sorry. I do forget how blessed to have an insular internet that detransitioned people are used as props. Ugh, God. Yeah, it's disgusting and it exists. Unfortunately and fortunately, I suppose, a lot of my information about what the right wing is doing and what the people with those mentalities are doing is filtered through my, left-wing media. So fortunate for me because it's not as scarring that way, but unfortunate in that I don't have a really unfiltered version of what's going on. One could say they are quite suitably obscure. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bras go on the bathroom floor. Do they not? Yeah, obviously. That's where that stays. I just keep not going back to the other room. I'm sorry. Oh, thank you for the lurk. No, you're totally welcome to lurk. You can hang out. You can wander off, whatever you're comfortable with. God, really, you're making me reevaluate a lot right now. I said similar-ish, but maybe it's a bit more similar than just similar-ish. I'm so confused. Oh, you're responding to Poro. Okay, yeah, Poro is incredible. Like, Poro, don't come back for this. Poro, don't come back for this. Poro is incredible. If anybody needs a perspective, a different perspective than the one you currently have on any topic, fucking talk to Poro. Because they are capable of recognizing almost anything from a different perspective, even if it's not the one that they personally have. Like, Poro is an absolute godsend sometimes. So yes, talk to Poro. Also, Poro, again, do not come back to chat for this. You're supposed to start streaming eventually, and I will absolutely be there for it. I'm good, beautiful. How's you? I'm doing fantastic, Kaz. I'm doing a hot take stream. So it is my first playthrough of this. But we're not really playing this for the game. We're playing it because it's something that I can brain off and do, even though I keep talking with my hands instead of actually playing the dang thing. Yeah, it is my first playthrough. I know a little bit about it because I have seen a playthrough of it, but I only remember it being super relaxing and chill. So But yeah, we're having a hot take stream. We're talking about really big stuff. Just a heads up, if you're ever uncomfortable with any of the topics, you are welcome to wander off. And if you'd like to take part, you are also welcome to do that. I love playing devil's advocate, even if you don't believe in what I'm saying. I do like making people think about different perspectives. I hate the term devil's advocate, not to attack you, I'm sorry. I hate the term devil's advocate because of this song that I heard one time, The Devil Doesn't Need an Advocate, by some YouTuber, and it's stuck in my head. The devil doesn't need an advocate. However, seeing things from a different perspective, you don't necessarily need to represent that perspective, but you do need to be able to acknowledge that it exists. So yes, I do like having a different perspective and seeing things from a different perspective, at least on my own. Doing that with other people can be counterproductive, but it can be a lot of fun at the same time. But we do decide it. The culture is decided by us. If we're into socialism here, we're into the us making decisions for the me. No, I don't know what you're referring to or what you're responding to. I'm so sorry. The world's shortiest perspective. What? I don't know. My bathroom floor always has bras on it, so they must go there. Yeah. In your sample size, all bras go on the bathroom floor. I understand why you don't like the term. It's just what came to mind. No, I'm so sorry. I feel like I should emphasize that was not an attack on you. It's just that's just what we're talking about today. Is like the hot takes, I guess. But use whatever terminology you need. I'm so sorry. Oh, sorry, I was talking about cultural things like holidays. Oh, us being the ones that decide. I actually disagree. We do not decide things like holidays and when we... So a lot of stuff in our culture is decided by corporations and industries. I feel like a lot of it has very much been morphed by that. Humans are incredibly gullible. Like, we're incredibly moldable. Like, the idea that diamonds are valuable is absolutely something that was manufactured by the diamond industry. The idea that Valentine's Day is when things should be celebrated, is when, you know, relationships should be celebrated. Valentine had nothing to do with romance. You know, they were not the god of romance. They were the god of, like, the sun, or not god, sorry, the saint of, like, something to do with the sun and something else. I'm so sorry, but, like, at the same time, it's things. Or here's a great example. I love talking about this one. Okay, so in the US, there was a regulation passed 1,000,000 years ago about the classification between cars and trucks. The regulation was that anything classified as a car needed to meet certain emission standards, and anything classified as a truck didn't, because they were often used for things like agriculture. So the automotive industry started manufacturing something called an SUV, and more recently something called a crossover. The reason that those two things started existing is because they fall under the classification of a truck because of the wheelbase. So they don't have to meet the emission standards that were originally passed for cars, because they technically are making trucks. And so what they did is, instead of selling people cars, they started selling them much more expensive vehicles that didn't meet the regulations that they were originally set. And they marketed that shit to the point where more people have crossovers and SUVs than any other vehicle type. We are so dumb. We are so incredibly convinced of things. And that's just because of their marketing campaign. You want to have enough room for your kids, right? You want to be able to fit the whole soccer team in there, right? Like, all of that shit was marketed to us. Most people do not have a soccer team they need to take somewhere. Most people just have a kid or two, and they can fit in the back seat, no problem. So, like, it's just marketing. Blood diamond industry, yep, damn you to beers, for real. Sorry, I studied jewelry for my last job, so I'm knowledgeable about the subject, and I cannot stand diamonds. Dude, I am right there with you. First of all, they are not as valuable as they've been marketed. Secondly, they are absolutely bad. Like, there's never been a diamond. Well, I do like the idea of lab manufactured diamonds. I really like that, but they are just not worth it. Do not buy somebody a diamond. I don't care how much the industry has decided that it means you love them. Diamonds are forever, whatever. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. Eat a dick, the diamond industry. I will take a lab-grown diamond, or I will go with something way less bloody. De Beers are trying to take that over too. What? I did not know that. Fuck. I'm not gonna be able to get a lab-grown fucking diamond now. I don't even like diamonds, so it's fine. But still, like, I was just gonna do it to put it in their face. Like, fuck off. I don't take offense, you're good? Okay. I do tend to over-explain things, and I'm really in a place right now where I've been talking about stuff that is incredibly offensive to most people that I talk to, so I'm, like, so worried about offending people right now. I've been nervous this entire stream. Hot take stream. Is it a simultaneously apology stream? Yeah. I don't like offending people. I don't like hurting people's feelings. I don't want the world to be a worse place because I have opinions. I'm normally very delicate about when and where I express my opinions on these topics where it might actually be beneficial. Right now we're talking on a stream and it's not really benefiting anybody. I mean, you guys are getting your curiosity satisfied, but like at the same time, I'm not changing anyone's mind. I'm not helping anybody grow as a person, you know? This is just not like how I would normally talk about this stuff, you know what I mean? I'll just get cubic zirconium. That shit's gorgeous, though. It's like so colorful. Excuse me. They've been doing that for 4 years. Fuck. If you like sparkles, zircon is your gem. Yeah, they're actually really pretty. They're more colorful than fucking diamonds. And we redated the Earth, and it's double reflector. Where our diamonds is a single refractor. I don't know what that means, but it sounds cool. That's why you have cubic zirconia, which is lab-grown zircon. Copy. Bro, I'm still reacting to that cheese curd. How long ago was that? Realizing my bad mushroom trip was very much contributed to by my mushroom having a bunch of mold on it. Ew. I have no idea what's going on with you right now. I'm so sorry. Alright, let me play this video game for a little bit. My voice is actually starting to hurt. I've been talking, as a very talkative person, I have been talking more than usual like this stream. I'm actually getting tired. See, if you need knowledge about gemstones, I'm your girly. I will absolutely take you up on that if I need information about it for sure. Oh, thank you for the stretch. I appreciate you and the hydrate. I have been trying to stay hydrated, actually. Oh, that's a good stretch. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness me. What? What? There's a pan in the bathroom. It's fine. You know what? It's fine. Oh, dude, I wish I could fucking crack my back. Sweet Poro. Poro is maybe my favorite person on the planet. Yes, Poro is insanely sweet. Sweet and intelligent and cool as shit. It's absolute insanity that this person exists. Opalite is the best gemstone. I think I know what that looks like. It's the pearlescent looking one, right? Poro is one of the best. Poro is a real one, for real. We all love Poro. We all love Poro. Poro is awesome. Opalescent? Is that like the official term for opalite? Because my brain says pearlescent, but that means... Because, like, I know nothing about stones. Like, this is not coming from stones. I'm thinking about paint right now. It's because pearlescent is for pearls. I'm just thinking about the way that paint is classified, because I used to be an industrial painter, and there is a term pearlescent that's used, and I think opalescent is, I'm assuming, means that it has, like, pearlescent is, like, opaque. That's what I was about to say, is that opalescent would have, like, layers to it then. I think. I'm waiting for Kaz to confirm. And shiny. Isn't opalescent also shiny? Opalescent has multiple layers in it. Okay. That is very cool. I like that. There we go, you go there. Pants, pantalones. Should we... This is such a weird, like, closet. What? One shoe. And a bra. That's fine. And then ironically, opal is my least favorite. It looks not real, and I guess before they made not real things like that, it would have been really cool. Yeah, that's fair. Like, as things become manufactured, we start having a feel for manufactured things. So even things that aren't manufactured, we can start saying, I don't like it because it looks manufactured, so that's fair. What is... Donnie Darko! Hell yeah! Look at you with your fucking skills. Watching good movies and shit. I haven't seen Donnie Darko in about 1 billion years. I should rewatch that. No, under the... No. I can't put this under the table. Alright, some things are probably gonna have to go over there, so let's just put that there. Can't manufacture this! What is this? What is this? I can't see this. What is this? It will not let me... It will not let me look at this. I don't know what this is. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna zoom. I'm zooming my entire screen in. It didn't work. It didn't work. I don't know what this is. That, and there was a time you couldn't make things sparkly, and a longer time still you couldn't make them sparkly with really vibrant colors, yeah. I've seen real emeralds that look fake, but are some of the most expensive grade and cut that you can find. The gem world is fascinating. Dude, emeralds are... They're very cool, but again, like, with them being rarer than diamonds, they're so fucking expensive. Like, just, like, I have difficulty with anything that's needlessly expensive. Like, we were talking about, like, not culture, fucking brain. We were talking about money and things like that, earlier, and communism, and, I can't, like, I think I might have tapped out my brain. I think I might be tapped out, y'all. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be able to go, honestly. Okay, I think these are socks and these are supposed to be underwear, I think. Trying to make these sort of like wonky, just because I'm weird. Please use me. Yes, Tibbles. Absolutely on it. Give me a minute. I don't think I'm gonna be able to finish this level. I think I might actually have to call it, because my voice started hurting and then my brain started wandering off. Do you guys feel like you got your money's worth for the hot take stream? If anybody's left. I haven't seen the follower count go down yet, so I don't think anybody's unfollowed. I only started looking about halfway through the stream, though. You've done well. I wish they could all be hot take streams. Dude, do you have any idea how emotionally exhausting this has been? I don't know if I could do this again. You haven't been canceled yet. I'm sorry. We didn't even really get onto, like, AI. We kind of hovered around, like, socialism and, gender and whatnot. The right people will always find you. Not always. Or maybe they will eventually, but... Hey, Mama Tango. Alright, thank you guys very much for hanging out. We're gonna do a raid. Let's see who's available. Tango, start a stream. We'll do a Tango hot take stream. Ooh, Fem's live. Lady Havoc, I love Havoc so much. I don't want to be like the weirdo that raids them constantly, but I absolutely adore Lady Havoc. Ooh, QC is live. We're gonna raid Fem. They just started, so it shouldn't be too bad. Alright, guys. There it goes. Alright, I love you guys berry bunches. I hope you have a wonderful time zone. I'm working on it. You're working on a hot take stream? Hell yeah. But thank you guys. No, Kaz. Thank you for showing up at all. Thank you. Appreciate you. I know this was kind of a weird one. Thank you all for hanging out, and I know this is a weird one. I would like to emphasize, actually, just since we're heading towards raiding out, I am going to not... Thank you, Esther. We're not probably... Vamp stream is always a hot take stream. We probably won't be talking about this stuff outside of this stream, because as I said, we kind of reserved it for this stream. A lot of this stuff is not something I'm comfortable talking about during the rest of streams. I don't want to run out of time and have it raid automatically, but I love you guys very much. I hope you have a wonderful night, morning, evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. And I'll catch you guys on Monday then. All right, have a good night. Bye.